Hello and welcome to Tea Leaves Programming. Today we're gaming like it's 1979. Although really, it's more kibitzing like it's 1979. This is not going to be a polished video. I may in fact make this members only. I just wanted to talk about Wizardry Variants Daphne. Wizardry Variants Daphne is a new game by Drecom. It's been anticipated for a while, and it is a mobile wizardry game. And in particular, the thing that's got lots of people exercised, let's say, is that it's a mobile wizardry game with Gacha mechanics, G-A-C-H-A, meaning that which characters you play with, and to a lesser extent the equipment, is determined by kind of random drops. And there's like a slot machine mechanic where you find a bone or a set of bones, and then you resurrect the bones, and those turn into characters. And there's a set number of characters, fairly large cast of characters, if we're honest. And then if you get extras, you can grind them up into experience powder and level up your existing characters. We've seen this before. We've seen lots of gacha games. Fire Emblem Heroes is the one that I'm most familiar with. These games have an attribute, which is that they're free to play, but if you pay for more spins at the slot machine, or for spins at a better slot machine, you can, you could level up your characters more. You could do better. In some games, it's simply getting a certain character model that you like a lot. And there's a bit of tension on the Wizardry Reddit about this between the people who have now been introduced to Wizardry by playing Daphne and kind of the old guard. To me, this isn't a question. Like, first of all, I played Wizardry Variants Daphne. I've played down to the second dungeon level. So that's a few hours into the game. It's certainly, I haven't played for 60 hours. And I've never given them $1, and I'm never going to give them $1. I've played lots of gacha games, and the cost of them is shockingly high. If you actually want to buy in, the games kind of operate on the principle of finding people who are whales and then kind of psychologically triggering them to spend all of their money. And, some people, probably correctly, view this as unethical. We are all playing video games. We're all paying money for video games. And while I do agree that I find this distasteful, I also can't argue with the success of the business model. There is an appetite for these mechanics. And where is the line? Would I run a gacha game myself? No. Am I willing to play a gacha game and just not pay for it? Yeah, I kind of am. The thing that I've seen is that the ratio of Daphne players to, say, players of 5 Ordeals or of the original Wizardry games, or even of Wizardry 6, 7, and 8, there's no comparison. The Reddit is overrun. There is one other aspect of Daphne that really irritates me. I prefer to play games, for whatever reason, on either my Steam Deck or on my gaming PC. I have an iPad, I have a phone, I could play these games mobily, but I prefer to play, on a big monitor. Wizardry Variants Daphne, in addition to being on the iPad and the phone and Android, has a Steam version that just came out. And that Steam version, like many gacha games, has an anti-cheat bundled into it that is basically a kernel hack, a kernel exploit. It's malware, put bluntly. And I'm not going to install that on my machine. So that limits me from actually, I said I've only played Daphne for a few hours. That's because I really can only play games on the iPad for so long before wanting to go do something else. So that, I think, is an unambiguous bad. And most of the gacha games do this type of thing, I think, because they're very concerned about people cheating the slot machine mechanic. And I mean, I feel like in that sense, they've made their bed and now they have to lie in it. I don't care what your game is or how good it is. Under no circumstances am I ever going to knowingly install a kernel extension to play your game. So I hope they get their act together and figure out a way to have the game on Windows without that. Because until then, I basically can't play their game, which I think is bad for them. It's also bad for me. So that's where I come down. I think Daphne is a great funnel. I think a lot of people are going to discover Wizardry who had not played it before. And perhaps most importantly, people have been trying to revive Wizardry as a franchise in the US for literally decades. It's always been kind of more vital in Japan and doing okay in Japan. In the US, this has been a dead-end franchise. If you like it, you're in a very small minority. So anything in my mind that brings more people to this franchise and keeps it alive is likely to lead to more and better traditional non-gacha Wizardry games down the line. So my advice is welcome the Daphne players with open arms and show them that they can have this same type of gameplay without the gacha mechanics and bring them on board. That's all I had to say. Whether I make this a public video, I feel like this is the sort of thing that, I don't know, it may be controversial. I haven't cared about that so far in my opinions about games and programming languages. So I'm not going to start caring about it now. You're watching Tea Leaves Programming. We've been gaming like it's 1979. Thanks for watching.